Libra. Before we even step into your cards, I need to tell you something directly. Your energy is sharper, cleaner, and more selective than it has been all year. You're not drifting anymore. You're not tolerating uncertainty. You're not floating between choices. You're finally stepping into a phase where your decisions carry weight and your intuition acts quickly. This reading is meant to confirm the shift you already feel inside. The shift toward balance that actually serves you, not everyone else. I'm Aira, and if you feel pulled to look deeper into what 2026 is shaping into for you, love, finances, karmic cycles, breakthroughs, and one major destiny moment, your full personal forecast is now available for $155. All details are below when you're ready. Now let's see what's unfolding for you. The first card that rises into your energy is the Page of Swords, and this card comes in like a sudden alertness in your mind. It shows you becoming aware of something you previously overlooked, a pattern, a person's intentions, or a hidden truth that now feels obvious. This isn't paranoia. This is clarity sharpening itself. The Page of Swords shows you observing, analyzing, and finally seeing the real story beneath the surface. Emotionally, this card reveals that your sensitivity to subtle shifts is increasing. You're picking up signals earlier, noticing tone, behavior, motives, and inconsistencies. You're not letting things slide the way you used to. And this is not you becoming defensive. This is you outgrowing naive optimism. Energetically, the Page of Swords indicates that your mental energy is speeding up. Ideas come quickly, insights land fast, and you're able to connect dots without effort. This is the universe telling you to trust your initial interpretation, not the version others try to present. Psychologically, this card represents a new level of mental maturity. You're no longer afraid to see the truth. You're no longer avoiding clarity. You're ready to make choices based on what's real, not what you hope becomes real. The next energy entering your reading is the Six of Pentacles, and this card arrives like a recalibration in your relationships and finances. It shows a shift in balance, finally. After months of giving more than receiving, supporting more than being supported, and investing more than getting back, the scales begin to even out. Something or someone finally meets you with equality. Emotionally, this card shows healing in your self-worth. You're beginning to understand that you don't need to earn what you naturally deserve. Love doesn't require overgiving. Opportunities don't require exhaustion. Money doesn't require sacrifice. Energetically, the Six of Pentacles reveals that the universe is returning something to you. Time, resources, support, or recognition. You're stepping into a phase of receiving instead of constantly pouring out. Psychologically, this card signals a shift in your standards. You stop accepting connections where energy is one-sided. You stop justifying imbalanced exchanges. You begin honoring your worth with actions, not just intentions. The next card appears with a quiet sense of relief, the Four of Swords. This card shows rest, mental reset, and spiritual realignment. You've been carrying tension in your mind for too long, and the Four of Swords arrives to give you the pause you didn't allow yourself to take. It's a deep exhale your soul has been waiting for. Emotionally, this card gives you space from the stresses and pressures that have been draining you. You detach from chaotic energies, step back from noise, and regain emotional balance. Energetically, the Four of Swords represents healing happening beneath the surface. Your intuition is resetting, your boundaries are strengthening, and your nervous system is stabilizing. Even your sleep may improve. Psychologically, this card represents peace gained through perspective. You look at situations without urgency, without anxiety, and without emotional fog. With this pause comes clarity. The next card that emerges is the Knight of Cups, bringing in movement in the emotional and relational parts of your life. It signals someone approaching you with genuine softness. Not manipulation, not confusion, not mixed signals. This is romantic or emotional sincerity entering your field. Emotionally, the Knight of Cups indicates that your heart is opening again, but this time with discernment. You're allowing yourself to feel hopeful without losing yourself in fantasy. Energetically, this card shows that the universe is guiding a person or connection toward you that mirrors your growth, someone emotionally aware, kind, and intentional. This is not a karmic return. This is something new or renewed with maturity. Psychologically, the Knight of Cups represents healthy vulnerability. You aren't afraid of expression anymore. You're not hiding your needs. You allow softness without fear of being taken advantage of. The next card showing up in your energy is the King of Pentacles, grounding your reading into stability and long-term direction. This card reflects mastery in finances, career, or structure. You're stepping into a phase where discipline, consistency, and strategy pay off in real, tangible ways. Emotionally, this card represents confidence that doesn't need validation. You trust the path you're building. You trust the foundation you're laying. You trust your long-term vision. Energetically, the King of Pentacles signals the arrival of security, financial, emotional, or environmental. Something becomes solid, dependable, and steady. Psychologically, this card represents a shift from short-term survival to long-term planning. You think in chapters, not days. You make choices that support your future self, not your fears. The sixth card appearing is the Two of Swords, and this one enters with honesty. A decision has been delayed for too long. You've been stuck between logic and intuition, between what is comfortable and what is true, between the old version of yourself and the future version waiting to emerge. Emotionally, this card shows inner conflict, not because you're confused, but because you're afraid of the consequences of choosing clarity. Part of you already knows the answer. The hesitation comes from what that truth requires. Energetically, the Two of Swords shows a temporary pause before breakthrough. Something is aligning behind the scenes to make your decision clearer. Psychologically, this card represents breaking a pattern of indecision. You stop overthinking, you stop delaying, you start choosing based on alignment, not fear of discomfort. The next card entering your reading is the Wheel of Fortune, shifting everything forward. This is destiny energy, cycle completion, and sudden movement. Opportunities, decisions, connections, or breakthroughs appear quickly because divine timing is finally active again in your life. Emotionally, the wheel shows renewed hope. You feel something shifting, not because you're imagining it, but because it genuinely is. Energetically, this card brings movement where there was stagnation. Things that were stuck suddenly open. Paths that were blocked suddenly clear. Psychologically, the wheel shows acceptance. You stop trying to control everything and start trusting the flow. You recognize that not everything requires force. Some things simply require timing. The final card closing your reading is the Empress, and this is the most powerful energy you could receive right now. The Empress brings abundance, attraction, creativity, and self-worth. This is your glow-up card. Not appearance, but energy. When the Empress shows up, everything in your life begins responding to your magnetism. Emotionally, this card shows deep self-acceptance. You're no longer chasing, you're no longer proving, you're no longer shrinking. You're choosing yourself, fully. Energetically, the Empress amplifies your manifestation power. Opportunities come easier, people respond softer. Your presence becomes stronger. Psychologically, this card represents inner security. You trust who you are. You trust what you bring. And the world reflects that trust back to you. Before we close, take this into your heart. Affirmation. I choose alignment over fear, clarity over confusion, and self-worth over compromise. I step into the next chapter fully empowered. If this reading resonated, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. It helps this message reach more people who need it.